Hola, en este vídeo
Hello, in this video we are going to address the crucial concept of teamwork.
de trabajo en equipo. Los principales objetivos que
Our main objective is to define the focus and key elements that are analyzed when discussing teamwork.
son los principales elementos que se analizan cuando estamos hablando de trabajo en equipo.
Basically, there are two main aspects we will work on.
En los cuales vamos a trabajar.
Teamwork is the set of internal dynamics generated within a team, which consists of individuals working together towards a common goal, project, or agreed upon set of tasks.
Persiguiendo un objetivo o un proyecto.
Our focus will primarily be on the functioning and development of the team itself, not the organization to which the team belongs or its connections with other teams.
No de la organización.
Within the concept of teamwork, it pertains to the functioning and development within the team.
Ese funcionamiento y desarrollo
The main dimensions traditionally analyzed to assess this functioning and development are outlined on the slide. They are all interconnected.
en la transparencia todas.
The first dimension is team composition, referring to the individuals who form the team. Within this dimension, there is an analysis of whether the group is homogeneous or heterogeneous, whether the individuals are very similar or very different between them. Similarities can be in terms of priorities, competencies, and skills, or they can be diverse. This dimension helps us understand how the group functions. The next dimension, closely related to the group's development, is the stages the group goes through over time. Different models have been proposed in this regard. Tuckman's model is the most classic, well-known, and frequently referenced model. You might not be familiar with the author, but you may have heard about the stages a group goes through. It starts with forming, then moves into a turbulent or conflict phase resolved as norms are established within the team. From there, the team enters a phase of performance. Finally, in some groups with a specific duration, the team is dissolved or closed. The original and traditional model is considered linear. The group starts in the forming stage and progresses through each step, one after another, with varying durations.
Con diferente duración
The turbulent and norming phases can be quick or prolonged depending on the specific group.
o muy extensa.
They occur sequentially, one after the other, until the group dissolves.
Empezando de una, pasa a la siguiente, a la siguiente, a la siguiente, hasta que se disuelve.
However, some more recent models are believed to be more representative of the actual functioning of a group.
Representativos de lo que es la realidad.
These models present the group's development as more of a roller coaster ride, including loops. It may start with forming, sometimes transitioning directly into a performance phase, followed by a turbulent phase resolved through norms. At the same time, this can lead to a conflict phase that is determined through performance. Towards the end, it may seem like the group is dissolving, but then it reforms with new additions and so on.
O sea, como veis, es un itinerario
As you can see, it is a much less linear itinerary where these five elements may shape the group's development, but not in a predictable manner. The exact progression of stages may vary for each group, as each group can exhibit slightly different behavior. Another essential aspect that affects group functioning is the tasks undertaken by the group. In this regard, some of the factors that have typically been analyzed include whether the group works on complex or simple tasks and whether these tasks are appealing or meaningful to the individuals in the group. These elements play a significant role in how they impact the group's functioning.
otro de los aspectos que
Another aspect that affects group functioning is the technology they need and are capable of using.
sobre todo si además lo estuviéramos
Technology becomes an essential mediator or constraint for the group's operation, particularly in remote teams. It plays a crucial role in the group's development, adaptation, and acquisition of necessary technology.
usando la tecnología.
This technology can encompass the overall infrastructure or tools, techniques, and reference models that the group needs to utilize within their operations. Another important aspect is the context in which the group operates, specifically the mode of interaction among group members.
De interacción
As mentioned earlier, groups can be remote, in-person, or hybrid. These are the three main types of group settings regarding their physical presence and interaction dynamics.
o híbrido.
Another aspect is how it can be influenced by the type of workers involved, such as knowledge or other types of workers. The nature of the work can also shape the interaction needed within the group. Additionally, even within the same team, the mode of interaction may change at different stages. Some may require more reciprocal, sequential, intense, or less intense interaction depending on the specific requirements and dynamics. Finally, aspects of the group's functioning are closely tied to the group's process and development. This involves analyzing how people work and interact with each other. It includes examining norms, roles, the group's identity or culture, decision-making processes, and how those decisions are addressed. As you can see, certain aspects of the group's process interact with the stages we discussed earlier, just as certain elements of the context and tasks can impact the overall dynamics. These dimensions are not independent but rather interrelated, creating a feedback loop among them. To conclude, the last point I wanted to mention is the group's outcomes, which is something we are only sometimes fully aware of. We often think the group's results are simply the products or deliverables they produce. However, I believe more aspects can be analyzed to understand the group's functioning and development. These include the cohesion generated within the group, the well-being perceived by its members, the level of commitment displayed by group members, and their engagement in tasks, among others. Additionally, some aspects relate to productivity, the quality of task completion time, as well as the creativity and innovation fostered within the group, which are also essential to consider. After analyzing all these aspects, I believe there are other relevant or interesting aspects to consider, as well as lingering questions. For example, besides Tuckman's model, which I mentioned earlier, different models may provide a better explanation of group dynamics or align more closely with real-life groups. Additionally, there are models like Belbin's model, which focuses on the roles performed within a group and is widely used and recognized for its compact and insightful framework. It would be interesting to explore the criticisms, advantages, and disadvantages of using Belbin's model, as it offers many benefits for group dynamics but likely has some limitations as well. Further analysis, particularly of the widely used Belbin model, is warranted to delve deeper into its intricacies. I believe that at this point you can define the main focus of the concept of teamwork. If you don't remember, I'll reiterate that it is about functioning and development. Then you can identify the key elements or dimensions analyzed within this concept to understand how groups operate.